Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MMA matches that are happening on Saturday, August 12, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Tennessee Titans vs Chicago Bears. For this game, our team pick is Chicago Bears minus 3.5 points. And here is why. Tennessee has some major issues to work through if they hope to contend in the AFC South this season. Having to rebuild the majority of their offensive line from scratch is going to be problematic. Tannehill likely won't play much, if at all, in this contest, as the majority of the reps will go to the Willis-Levis duo in an effort to determine whether the team will carry just 2 QBs or 3 on the roster. Chicago made some major improvements in the offseason, and this will give an opportunity for Fields to show what he can do with a bona fide number 1 receiving option. While he won't be on the field a ton, the Bears, at least on paper, look better than the Titans. Look for them to come up with a victory in the preseason opener at home. Our total pick is under 38 points. And here is why. While there is plenty of talent on both offensive units here, with the backup QBs under center and the first action for Will Levis in his NFL career, things may be a little messy to begin with, especially as both of these teams have some standout defensive pieces. As such, the over-under mark set at 38 is a relatively easy one, as neither of these teams will be fielding elite-level quarterback play, and with question marks along both offensive lines, expect a low-scoring defensive affair in this one, especially with neither team expected to play a lot of their starters. Indianapolis Colts vs Buffalo Bills. For this game, our team pick is the Buffalo Bills minus 5.5 points, and here is why. Coming off a dominant 13-win season in 2022, have showcased their prowess on both sides of the ball. Their offense averaged 397.6 yards per game, while the defense allowed just 17.9 points per game, which was second best. Indianapolis Colts will be testing out rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson, who surprisingly started at quarterback only 13 times while at Florida. Richardson will see reps under center on Friday, as will Gardner Minshew. Buffalo has a battle for one of the starting linebacker and cornerback positions, which will help the defense against Indianapolis, while the offense will be testing running backs James Cook, Damian Harris, and Latavius Murray. Cook is currently the number 1 back, but offseason acquisition Harris will pressure Cook for playing time. Our total pick is under 39, and here why. When analyzing the offensive capabilities of both teams, this game promises to be a high-scoring affair if played during the regular season, but that is not the case, as both teams have plenty of talent on defense, and both units will dominate the opposing offenses in this first preseason game. NFL preseason games are notoriously low-scoring as the offenses run a very basic package of plays, not wanting their game plan on tape while watching what their players can do. New York Jets vs Carolina Panthers. For this game, our team pick is Jets plus 3.5 points. Great value here, getting the Jets plus 3.5, grab the hook while you still can. Robert Saleh has made it clear he takes preseason games seriously and coaches to win. The Jets have been undefeated in preseason play under Saleh until last week's loss to Cleveland. Saleh will not want to lose 2 preseason games in a row. Aaron Rodgers will not play, but Zach Wilson looks strong in the preseason opener and will get more reps in this game. The Jets may look to move Wilson at the trade deadline, so New York will want to up his trade value by putting him in spots to succeed this preseason. Bryce Young will not play much, and when he does, he will not be using his speed to scramble and risk injury. The Panthers are going to play it safe with Young, then rely on Matt Corral, who has never thrown a pass in an NFL game. The Jets have 1 preseason game under their belt to shake off their nerves and will bounce back strong in their second appearance. Our total pick under 37.5 points. And here is why. The mid to high 30s is where NFL preseason totals typically land. Out of the 16 preseason games this weekend, 15 have totaled between 35 and 40, only the Chargers-Rams game is lower at 33.5. Starters play fewer reps than ever, and teams are less likely to take risks or run their best plays. Wilson and Young are young quarterbacks. Wilson has struggled in the past, and this will be Young's first ever action. Once those two leave the game, the talent level at QB will drop dramatically. New York's Chris Stevler was only 1-7 in the last game, as the Jets did not score any second-half points. Carolina's Matt Corral had a nice college career 2 years ago, but he has yet to throw a pass in the NFL. Defenses will load up against the run, and the clock will continue to run. Do not expect a shootout in this one. Jacksonville Jaguars vs Dallas Cowboys. I'm picking the Dallas spread for this game. And here is why. There's a new offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, calling plays for the boys this year, and I believe he will be out to prove himself in this game. There is a lot of talent on the Dallas offense, and Rush has proven to be a legitimate starting QB. I don't think the spread should be larger than a field goal with the Cowboys at home, and predict we'll see a competitive performance from Dallas, even when Jacksonville starters take the field. Jacksonville may lead the game for a while, but once its starters are out of the game, it will see its lead begin to slip away with Rush or Grier out-dueling Beathard. The Cowboys won't give up too many points on defense after halftime, locking in with the home crowd at its back. The depth chart looks almost identical to last season, even in the second unit. That continuity will be evident in preseason week 1. For our total pick, I am going with over 37.5 points. And here is why. In the first preseason game between the Texans and Patriots, the final score ended up being 29. I have confidence that these teams will have more points than that in this contest. The Patriots struggled offensively last year, and the Texans were not good in any aspect of the game, so that was to be expected. Both teams are going to want to get their offenses acclimated and show they can be lethal with their attack after the previous year. Jacksonville will surely want to get Calvin Ridley back up to speed after missing the past season, and Lawrence will get some reps. While they won't play the majority of the game, there are several opportunities for other players to establish their roster spot on offense for both sides. The conditions are better as well, so we should see more offense in this contest as well. Philadelphia Eagles vs Baltimore Ravens. For this game, take the Ravens to win and cover. And here is why. The Ravens have won 23 consecutive preseason games coming into this contest, so the clear choice here is to back Baltimore. They do not only win in preseason, they dominate. They have won 8 of their last 10 preseason games by 7 or more. Hurts and Jackson are both great quarterbacks, but neither will have an impact on the outcome of this game. Baltimore is deeper at QB, which will make the difference in the preseason opener. Philadelphia is likely to give a lot of reps to Ian Book and Tanner McKee, and either would be lucky to get a final roster spot. Tyler Huntley is a solid backup, which means he will be a top-level preseason quarterback. Josh Johnson is experienced enough to not have any preseason jitters, and Anthony Brown played well last preseason. This trend is impossible to ignore. The Ravens have been dominating the preseason for years, and it won't stop now. For our total pick is take over 35.5 point, and here is why. This is a low total, even for a preseason game. Behind Lamar Jackson, the Ravens have 3 capable quarterbacks who should sustain drives long enough to put points on the board. Baltimore has scored 17 or more in every preseason game the past 2 seasons, including a 37-point game against Washington, where they went over the posted total of 33 on their own. The Eagles scored 21 in 2 of their 3 preseason games last season. If Mariota plays more than a few drives, he should help the Eagles find points early. The Eagles have a position battle at running back, so each back will be running hard to pick up first downs and move the ball. Considering each team's recent history in the preseason, getting over 35.5 will not be a tough task. Los Angeles Chargers vs Los Angeles Rams. For this game, take the Rams minus the points. And here is why. The first preseason game is always a tricky one. We have to try to figure out who is sitting, who is playing, and how long they might actually play. Of course, any first-teamers will be extremely limited on both sides of the ball. This is especially true for the Rams, where Cooper Kupp is already ruled out and Matthew Stafford is expected to play very little, if at all. The Rams do, however, have some depth on offense. They picked up Brett Rypien to back up Stafford, and Demarcus Robinson joins the receiving core after a career-high 48 catches with Baltimore last season. I think the Rams are looking to prove themselves this season, and it starts in the preseason. They will want to get their new players some playing time and see how the team gels as a whole. For our total pick, take over 33 points. Here is why. This will be the 3rd straight season that these two have opened the preseason against each other. In the last 2 preseason meetings, they averaged 35 combined points per game, including a hefty 51 last season. Neither team used any of their first-team players in last year's meeting, and things got fairly offensive. I think we can expect that again here. Both offenses, especially when it comes to the backups, will be looking to prove their worth. This may be the only chance for many players to earn a roster spot, so this is where dudes tend to go off. The over is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings.